So welcome back, and you are pregnant. So your progesterone levels are really high. Also, your estrogen levels are also rising, and we will discuss the early stages of the developing embryo that involves the formation of the major systems and structures through the process of differentiation. And we explored the developing embryo up until week 8. So you remember at day 5, the morula develops to become the blastula. So that is known as the blastocyst. You remember I did that in the previous video. And cellular differentiation then develops the blastula cells into two types. The trophoblast cells are the outside, and there is also an inner mass of cells, the embryoblast. The whole conceptus is then known as the blastocyst, and the cells in the inner cell mass of the early blastocyst become aggregated. So they form together at one pole of the blastocyst, and they will give rise to the germ layers that will form the tissues and organs of the embryo. So the cells forming the outer layer of the blastocyst become flattened, and they will form the placenta. The entire cellular products of the original fertilization event are now referred to as the conceptus. And this will include embryonic and extra-embryonic tissues of the fetal membranes and the placenta. In week 2, the embryo is now about 0.2 millimeter diameter in size, and the 3 embryonic spaces are present. We can see the yolk sac, the amniotic sac, and the chroniotic sac. The large chroniotic cavity is surrounded by the cell layers extending to form chorionic villi. So don't worry, chorion is the fetal part of the placenta. The maternal part is known as something else, but that's all referring to the placenta. So these villi are at the beginning of the functional units of the placenta. So our egg now is called the blastula and undergoes cell division called blastulation. A blastula is an embryo consisting of a spherical cell layer and a fluid-filled cavity. The blastula then turns into a gastrula by the movement of cell masses from the outside surface in a process called gastrulation. So from B we go to G. A gastrula is the state of the mature embryo with 3 cell layers: the endoderm, the mesoderm, and the ectoderm. So here again we zoom into this part, and it looks like this. So here we have the endoderm, the mesoderm, and the endoderm, the mesoderm, and the ectoderm. So once again, where is the ectoderm? Where is the mesoderm? And where is the endoderm? Very good. So gastrulation, back again. Where are we? Gastrulation typically involves the blastula folding in upon itself or dividing, which creates layers of cells, as you can see. We also have to note that during this time, the conceptus cells are not contributing to the embryo. They are contributing to the placental membranes. So you can see now the early placenta. So the process of the villi formation and the early placentation has begun. So the process of the third week contributes to the neural tube formation, the development of blood circulation, and that will continue into the fourth week. At the same time, the Sorry, I think I mixed this up now. Okay, once again. So, what's the inside layer called again? You were right. I was just checking. The endoderm, very good. The outside layer is called the ectoderm, and the inside layer is called the mesoderm. Now we've got it. So, what is the amnion part of? Part of the placenta. And what does this amnion thingy do? It acts to protect the developing embryo against mechanical shocks. Very good. And what is the cord called that attaches the embryo? The umbilical cord. And what's the basic function of the placenta? Yes, the placenta delivers nutrients and oxygen to and removes also waste and carbon dioxide from the embryonic blood. So what is it, delivering? Nutrients and oxygens. And what is it removing? Carbon dioxide and wastes. So what's organogenesis? That is forming of the organs. And what's the earliest functioning organ? Yes, a heart. So how many layers does the embryo have again? 3. So what's the ectoderm? That's the outermost layer, and it forms the skin, central and peripheral nervous system, eyes and inner ears. What's the mesoderm? That's important for the circulatory system, bones, ligaments, kidneys and reproductive system. What's the endoderm? That forms the inner organs, lungs and intestines. Very good. What happens to the neural tube in week 4? It's closing. What develops from the neural tube? The baby's brain and the spinal cord. What else begins to form? The heart and the other organs, and also what begins to beat? The heart. And it looks like the letter C. In week 7 of pregnancy, that equals to how many weeks after conception? 5. What's another word for conception? Fertilization. And why is the difference of 2 weeks? Because yes, it takes 2 weeks for the egg to get fertilized and implanted. And what is growing? The baby's brain and face, nostrils, lower limb buds, arm buds. And week 6, what will be known as legs? The paddles. And what does the hand already have? Little fingers. What else is visible? The ears and the eyes and the upper lip and the nose. And what begins to straighten? The trunk and the neck. Now we are 7 weeks after conception, and what will grow here as well? The arms, and what else is visible? The elbow, the toes, the eyelids and the chin. And in week 8, what has become more round? Yeah, the head. What can it bend, or what can she or he bend or move? the elbows and the toes. And what gets longer? The fingers, and also what is visible? The umbilical cord. And what's the embryo in the 9th week called? The fetus. Very good, congratulations, you made it.